Hi and welcome to the latest instalment of TSGL, where you'll find everything simulation for planes, buses, trucks and even trains. TSGL, the Sim Guy Lee. Hi and welcome to my latest video. A little bit different today. We're going to be looking at how did I do it? A new video based on how did I get the VR Euro Truck Simulator 2 to run as smooth as it did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the steps and the software and the setup that I use in order to do it. Before we do that, there's a little caveat, and that is based on my settings, or the settings I'm going to show you today are based on my setup only. So before we start that, let's just show you my setup, which is all can be found on my about channel, or about my channel. And it's basically this. I've got a Ryzen 9 390 12 cores. I've got a RTX 2080 Super, so it's not the latest and greatest graphics card, but it's certainly got enough grunt. It's got 8 gig of RAM, 32 gig of 3200 megahertz RAM. I've got a 500 gig M2 as my boot up drive, and then I've got various other SSDs and hard drives that I run applications off. Normal SATA drive is just basically for data. Anything that really requires fast access is on an SSD. I'm running a 1920 by 1080, so a lot of people run at that. And I've got the Link Quest 2 VR headset and link cable. However, to get the best out of recording the Euro Truck Simulator 2 and getting it in the headset and being able to use the headset cable free, i.e. no cables whatsoever, I'll be using some third-party pieces of software. When I'm driving, I'm using the Thrustmaster TMX Pro 4-speed vac wheel and pedals. So that is my basic setup. Now, as I said, there's more to it than just recording it in VR. There's a whole heap of things you've got to get to be able to record VR. So one of the things that I use is virtual desktop. The virtual desktop, and I will put links in the description below to any of the software that I use. The virtual desktop is two parts to it. There's the Windows part, which you need to download this Streamer app, and if I come down to the bottom of the screen here, this is what is running at the moment on my screen. If I can get it to display, there we go, bring it across. So this is the virtual desktop streamer. You have to log it into your Oculus, so it links with your Oculus Quest username, and I don't get, you can choose whatever you want, but I don't have it starting with Windows, and I don't get it started minimized in the tray, for the simple reason that I'm not going to be using it every day, so I don't really want to have it open automatically only to then close it. So we've got the Streamer app, which will be running in the background, and then you'll need to install the virtual desktop software from Oculus itself. And if I remember correctly, we have to do this through sidequest. So if we open up sidequest, and there's plenty of videos on how to download, install and use sidequest, but the key one is you have to register yourself as a virtual developer. So if we search for virtual desktop, this is where you can get it from. So you can get it from the Oculus, you can download it and install it onto your Oculus Quest. And we have to launch the application through the virtual desktop. This is the key thing that allows you to, this combination of this app and the application in the Oculus Quest allows you to play games from Steam wirelessly. You do not need the link cable. So that's the software that links it all together. So the link on sidequest will take you to the oculusquest.com or home, where you can download virtual desktop. The downside is that it does require an investment of £14.99 British pounds, but it is the more guaranteed and smoother way of being able to do streaming or playing VR in the Oculus Quest. I've tried using the normal remote desktop on using the link cable, but I found it was very stodgy. So yeah, if you can afford the investment, go for the virtual desktop route. The next thing you need to do is you need to make some settings, and again this is down to preference and playing around, but these are my settings for if you've got an Nvidia graphics card. If you've got the Nvidia, and you can go to the manage 3D settings, I've got for Euro Truck Simulator, you can find the application that you want to use. And the settings I've changed are, I've set the rendering GPU to my graphics card. I've set the power management mode to, I prefer maximum performance. Use triple buffering on, and the key one is virtual or vertical sync on in the graphics card settings. We turn it off in game. We want the GPU of the graphics card to do the vertical syncing. The only other one is pre-rendered frames. I'm just using the global setting, and that is it for your Nvidia. There will be other things for other graphics cards, and you should be able to find again videos on YouTube that can explain that. The next thing is to get the Oculus Tray tool. Now this allows you to override some of the settings within the Oculus. I've gone for super sampling of 1.3, and again you've got various settings. This just so happens to fit better with my setup. I force the ASW or asynchronous, I can't even remember what it stands for now, but I set it to force it at 45 kilohertz or 45 hertz, and again you've got 18, 30. You can set it to prefer 45, but it will change as you go along, or you can force it to 45. Adaptive gives you, what I found, it gives you rubber banding. So it'll draw a little bit, and I was finding that as it drew it, I was rubber banding towards it. So it was really very disorientating. Everything else is set as disabled or none. Okay, so that's the thing. And this stays running in the tray tool at the bottom. Now, the critical bit, and again, I can only assume you're using it on Steam, because I believe even if you get the DVD version like I did, it requires a Steam account. So if you come across to Steam and you come down to Euro Truck Simulator, there are two key settings that you need to do. It's important that you do them. So if you right click on them and go to properties, the first one you need is to go to your betas and select down here the Oculus OpenVR 1.41 at the moment, at time of recording, SDK 1.4. What this will do is it will download a patch for your game, and as you can see, it puts it in the square brackets here, called Oculus. You do not need a beta access code for this. Okay, you need it for some of the other betas, but not for the VR. Okay, the next thing you need to do is go into General, and you need to put this launch options in. Now, if you're using the link cable, you're just going to put in minus Oculus. Okay, you're just going to put minus Oculus in there. That will be the best for using the link cable, but if you're using the virtual desktop, you need to, it uses the OpenVR function or feature. So you put minus OpenVR, and that's it. So when you launch this game, what's going to happen is it will launch the Steam VR. So you also need to install Steam VR if you haven't already done it. Okay, we will come back to this, and we'll leave this as is at the moment because we're going to launch this through the Oculus Quest. What I tend to do as well, and I've played around with a lot of features with recording, is there are many ways of getting to record off the Oculus. You can install a virtual Chromecast piece of software that I use OBS as my recording software, can link into. I found that very, very stodgy, very laggy, and it didn't record it very well at all. You can do mirroring, and again, it becomes very laggy indeed. The other one is to record it direct from within the Oculus, which is what I tend to do, and then I copy that video out, and I'll show you how to do that later on. But to do that as well, you'll need to run another piece of software for the sidequest, and that is, we need to have these ADB queues set up to run. So this is a script that you need to be able to run an ADB shell from within from your desktop using sidequest. And what I've done is I've created a update that I load sidequest, and again, this is documented in loads of different places, but so you know you can create this batch file. And again, I'll try and find links to where you do this and pop them into the description below. But you can actually create a bat file that before you start the Oculus, you can run this tool, and you have to have sidequest installed, and it will pass these commands to the Oculus so that you can capture in widescreen. If you don't do that, the Oculus will only record in the 4:3 old-fashioned, almost square recording format, which we don't want in this day and age. So, and again, if you know, you can, I'll put the description in the, put the details in the description below. Okay. So, without further ado, we're going to execute that, and I'll run that as administrator so that we can run it. Okay. And that will allow us to do it. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is no, there's one other thing I need to do. For wireless to work properly, you need very good Wi-Fi connection. And when I say that, I mean ideally, the best way to do it is to have what I've got is a virtual or independent network. So what I've got is a Wi-Fi 6 router that I plug into my desktop that acts as a dedicated resource. So it does not connect to the internet, does not allow any other devices to connect to it. The only thing that connects to it is the Oculus Quest. I've then got another network which connects to the internet as well. So they are separate. Now I know that might sound overkill to a lot of people, and to a certain extent it does. But because this is Wi-Fi 6 and the Oculus Quest supports Wi-Fi 6 on the 5 gigahertz, I get very good throughput and bandwidth. And because no other device is connecting to it, I'm not sharing that bandwidth. So that is how I get it key for, you know, the smoothness. Now I understand that a lot of people aren't in a position to go out and afford that. So all I can say is, if you can get the best connection for the Oculus, you can try and cut down how many users. So if you're gonna try and do it wirelessly, and you've got 2 children around streaming YouTube, playing games, you know, your other half's streaming from Netflix or anything like that, you're not going to get the smoothness that I'm going to show you tonight or today, because it is very bandwidth intensive, and I know that this is not going to be everyone's. And again, what I'll do is I'll put a link to someone else who's done a dedicated YouTube video all about how to do this and why it's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get set up into the VR headset. I'm going to head over there and we can start looking at from within the headset. See you on the other side. Okay, here we are inside my Quest 2. First thing we need to do is fire up virtual desktop. As I said, we need to link this to the software streamer that's running on my actual computer. So the first thing it's going to do now is link to my desktop computer. There we go, it's just about linking up. You can see my settings and the speeds that I'm getting, and there we are. desktop on my PC. So let's start Euro Truck Simulator 2. First thing it's going to do is, because we've put the OpenVR command, it's going to open up the Steam VR. We're now going to head to the little issue that I have, and it happens a lot, and that is when you start, the image is rendering below your center of gravity, or not where you're looking forward. So what we need to do is head back to the desktop. I usually do this using the pass-through, the double click on the side of the image, on the side of the Quest, and you need to then look at the third selection down, which is to reset your seating position. Now I know that's clear, and you don't get that image when you do the pass-through, but I did that so you can see what's what. Okay, we're now inside my Volvo 750. You can see the virtual mirrors on there. We'll get rid of those because in VR you don't need them, because you've got full visibility of both mirrors.
To get the job done.
So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a little trip round the city that I'm in, or town that I'm in, whatever it is. It's Perth in Scotland, and I know Perth is not part of the normal ETS2. That's because I'm using Pro Mods, or the latest version 2 Mods 2.56. It enhances the graphics, it enhances the area and everything. Sorry about the weather. We're in Scotland, and as usual it's usually wet, but it's quite a quick trip round Perth anyway. So that's the tanker that I'm going to take out, and as you can see I've got my own livery on it. I've been doing a little bit of learning on doing paint jobs, and we're just going to back it up and pick it up. I'm not 100% proficient at doing this just yet, but as you can see, left and right, good use of the mirrors. You haven't got a normal like you have in a car, a normal rear view mirror. Okay, so there we go. Let's couple the trailer up, and let's just go for a quick jaunt round Perth. Won't take long. It's not the nicest weather, but as I say, it'll give you an idea of how smooth it is with
This is where it ends.
with the virtual desktop. And I've been asked by one of my channel subscribers to explain how I got it to be as smooth as I have inside the Quest 2. So this is it. It's, as you can see, it's smooth. You're seeing a little bit. There are some limitations every now and then when you look to the look through the window, side view, and you're going past something. You can see a little bit of jittering, but generally this gives you the full immersion. The other thing with Pro Mods is you get a lot of real names on the for the where you can do deliveries from and to, and also on some of the trucks as well. I actually think we drive past a Lidl's in a minute. You get Tesco's, you get all sorts. But yes, it's really not. There we go, there's Lidl's. Don't know why that truck moved over to the left. I know we're supposed to drive over to the left in the UK, but that was a bit of a waste of time. So as you can see, it is smooth, even with this horrible downpouring weather. You get good rendering, and yeah, I love it. I really do. And I very rarely now drive Euro Truck in the 2D mode. If I do have to put the track IR on, because otherwise you're centering or trying to center all the time, and you can't do it. With the VR headset, centering back on the screen is natural. If you do it normally when you're driving. But as you can see, I'm looking left, right all the time, checking the mirrors. And when we get back to the depot, or the garage here in Perth, I will reverse it back up. And as you will notice, with a trailer on, I'm still doing a lot of practicing at the moment, reversing it with a trailer without using the external views. I will get there eventually. You know, it comes with practice, and the more you practice, the better you get at it. So we'll come round back into the town again, hang a right, and we'll head back to the depot. When we get back and I've parked up, I'll show you a cinematic recording of, you know, this truck from the outside. So this is where we came down, we turned right and carried on straight up, but we'll go back towards the depot now. Here we go, got a green light. But what I'll do is I'll reposition the truck. I'll drive somewhere where it's a little bit more scenic and a little bit more a little drier as well, should we say.
Please watch the speed limit.
Oh, bad boy, naughty boy, stop doing this, breaking the speed limit. I was probably only doing about 3 miles over. Hey ho. And that's just a setting you can do within Euro Truck Simulator too, is you can actually turn on the sat nav and it will tell you when you're going a bit too fast, if you want it to. It's just an option you've got. So here's our truck depot, our garage. We'll go and park it up. I'll reverse it down and back along the forecourt, and yeah, you can. Let's reverse it back out of it. I changed my mind. I was going to just drive straight in. Oh no, that's what I was going to do. I was just going to fix the repairs. Oh, get a few bad repairs, but hey ho. Wear and tear on the tyres. Probably time to add a go. So let's just reverse it back up a bit, and then we'll pull round to the left and reverse it back up there. But the good thing with the VR is, as you'll see in a minute, you can look left and right through your wing mirrors, and towards the end you can actually lean out of the window like you would in a real truck and see where you're going, see whether your trailer is actually lined up where you want to go. And we'll go back. We're going reasonably straight at the moment. There we go. This is what I mean. You can look back. There we go. So, there's no way you can do that in real, without changing your normal view in the game. So there you go. That's how I get it so smooth in VR within Euro Truck Simulator 2, and it's using virtual desktop. And as I said, yes, I know it costs £15, but I think it's an investment to get this absolute realism in the game. Okay, straighten her up. I'll say I've got to practice that a little bit more. Okay, let's unhook the trailer, go and park in the dry, and I'll go and show you the outside of this truck and the skin paint job, whatever you want to call it, that I've managed to do. And I'll put a link down to a brilliant resource with it on YouTube that has actually helped me enormously with how to skin a truck. I'd had mixed success before I found this channel, so I'll put a link to that in the description below. Okay, let's go and reposition, and this is the truck that we took out. So this is the Volvo 750, the extra large one, and yeah, I don't think I've done too bad lining up the graphics on it and getting it to the way I want it, the way I want it to look. And I've done skins for the refrigerated units and the curtain siders as well, as you've seen from my desktop screen, you know, and it looks rather good. I think it does. Leave a comment below if you want, if you think it's not, or if you agree with me. I don't mind. But hey, if you've got any other suggestions on any videos that you would like me to do, leave them in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button and hit it with a like. It helps me enormously in the, you know, getting some of the channel ranked up. But I will leave you with this view of I can't even remember the name of the town now. It's just north of Aberdeen, I know that, and it's on the coast. It's a port, but yeah. And again, this is another one that's been added with ProMods 2.56. And until the next time, goodbye for now.